last night, Amin El-Hassan went to the Heat game.
Yeah, I did.
And I see that Jeremy Taché, who does a lot of stuff for the Heat, seems to be taking a bit of a homerific victory lap on the Heat are shooting better over the last few games. They have, shot over 40% from three in what, Jeremy?
Capitulate, Dan. It's time to capitulate.
They have shot over 40% from three in back-to-back games for the first time. I think it was the first time this season that it's happened, and it only happened. It happened 7 times in the first 61 games, and now it's happened 6 times in the last 10 games. And I don't know. The larger sample is the truer sample, but last year this team was one of the best shooting teams in the league. The year before that, it was one of the best shooting teams in the league. This year, it's been an unbelievably worst in the league shitty shooting team.
Jeremy is just in the corner here, still heckling you off air. Weird, huh? How's it feel, Dan?
But what is he heckling me about?
This is a turning point in the Heat season,
Okay,
man.
who could have seen this coming?
They beat
Jeremy
up on the
did.
Utah Jazz.
And Memphis.
They beat up on a Memphis team without its star player that's been terrible on the road all season long. This is the moment.
You do what with small samples, large samples? They have been for 60-something games this season terrible at shooting.
So I would respond to Mike over here by saying every great stat you see, team-wise, like, oh, they're number 1 in offensive rating and stuff like that, it's all built on beating up on shitty teams. You got to do that first before you get. It's not like, oh, but against the good teams we do. No, you got to do that first. So this is a nice kind of, oh, thank God, it looks like it's starting to come together. But
do you believe it? When it's 6 of the last 10 over 40%, that's a real small sample. Anyone in the sport can do that.
Who do we think? I'd tell you who we think. Chad Kroger and Nickelback. Because that's what really springboarded this season.
All right, so Jimmy Butler, for those of you who do not know, after the Orlando game, because he's an asshole,
never made it as a poor man.
decided to flood the locker room with Nickelback.
The wise man.
Never made it as a rich man, baby.
No.
This is how you remind me how I really am.
You got some of them right.
2 Americas.
Got a few words right. Nickelback, he was singing it in the locker room. He was punishing his teammates. Again, that game.
What song was he singing?
I don't know Nickelback's collection.
Yes, you do.
I know. I probably know it if I heard it. I don't know it. I can't recite titles.
Look at this photograph.
That actually sounded pretty good. You sounded pretty
We
decent
all
there.
wanna be big rock stars and a million and 100 and a 15 cars, a hum dum hunter and a hot red tank, a home and a hunter and a 5 on hand, and a tune-up with the movie stars and a VIP with the movie car. No, and then a big dong down on the beach ball hand. Hey, I'm a rock star.
So Jimmy Butler was singing something like that in the locker room. And if you remember the details of that game, I think, did he score 38 in that game? He made a 3 at the end of regulation with 2 guys on him, a ridiculous 3. And then in overtime, they got squashed by double digits. And in the locker room, he is alleged to have played Nickelback loudly, which is a human resources violation. Like he should be suspended for that.
But this could become a thing. The way that Pepas did, the way that the Rats did in 1996 for the Florida Panthers. And if this starts to run, the arena in Miami-Dade should absolutely be blasting Nickelback.
Every fourth quarter when they get like a big lead at a crucial time.
Never made it as a wise man. Couldn't cut it as a poor man, baby.
The crowd just like,
yeah! Like a blind man.
Brendan Tobin's like Instagram living it.
This is what you do, Chris. You play those bars and then you cut it right before this is how, and the whole crowd's supposed to sing it.
You're mine.
You ever seen like a Detroit Red Wings
knows
game?
that song.
Right before.
I'm
It's
telling
not
you.
like you could say sorry.
That's good. I just got
Story.
goosebumps.
I've been hard. I've been hard.
Everybody.
Okay. But at a Detroit Red Wings game, Dan, I don't know if you know this. They'll play just the city boy, and then they'll cut it, and the arena will go, born and raised in South Detroit. And like that's one of the few hair-raising moments where I'm like, oh, game ops. You got me. You got me there.
Were all of you as flabbergasted and stunned as I was to see a number near 140 on the Heat side of the board?
Yeah. Yeah, it's 138.
But all of you had the same reaction I did. Since when, against whom in this league? Why? You're a 100-point team. You're no longer the team that runs up and down the court and makes a ton of threes and scores $138.
I saw that score, and I assumed that Jimmy Butler went to the line 74 times.
He did, didn't he?
So did Mike Schur, who kept texting about that.
He did all night. It's so annoying. I'm telling you, what's happening with Mike Schur, he is watching this Heat team with a hatred that is totally unreasonable. He cares about hating them more than anybody cares about what the Heat are presently doing this season.
He needs a life.
He does.
Thinks about
Go
us
write a show.
way too often.
We're living rent free.
He's got a big life, though. I don't know how he has the
Texting a meme about the
capacity.
Heat on a Wednesday.
Always, and it's yesterday. It was he screenshotted Jimmy Butler's box score line without like the tags of what each thing was, and he said 8 of 9. What do you think that is?
And these Heat games take place at like 4 p.m. his time. He should still be at work. What's he doing?
He'd be picking up his kids from school.
Yeah.
He's just counting
Go record a
Jimmy
podcast.
Butler's free throws. That's all he is doing. And Mike Ryan can't be lured back. Mike, you are considered a traitor.
I can be lured back in through the power of butt rock. This is how I'm back.
This is how Mike is back.
I don't believe that Heat
Nickelback.
fans want you back. I believe that you're
Nickelback.
I believe you're an enemy.
I am Nickelback.
I believe you're an enemy of the Heat fan base these days after being a voice for the annoying Heat fan.
Why? Because I've been proven right. Kyle Lowry is butt. Victor Oladipo didn't play last night, and all of a sudden they're winning by 20?
Kyle Lowry did, though.
Yeah, but whatever. He's still butt.
I'm Team
He's
Ryan
a lot of butt.
Cortez. He's been heckling you on Twitter all week.
Because they beat him. Okay, Ryan. All right. He goes quiet sometimes.
You're dead in this town, though.
All right.
Still.
But you know what? I'm Nickelback.